which one this is, if it's anything interesting. Oh, there's the snail enemy. As far as I know, there's nothing really interesting about these guys. If you don't have Gale Strike, don't worry too much. Gale Strike is actually fairly difficult to learn. I got pretty lucky in learning it. Something like Painful Beat or something roughly equivalent would be perfectly serviceable at this point. There's another Silver Staff. That's nice. It's one of the reasons why I'm using the Silver Staff I got now, because you get a second one. And between the two, I mean, that's plenty of uses. That slime enemy that I'm fighting right now, nothing really interesting about him either. He got very little HP. Now, I'm actually using Will for most of these battles. I have a really good reason for that. Like I may have mentioned this before, but Will is actually the character that you use in the most scenarios in the game. So the more powerful he gets, it carries over and has the most effect to your long-term game. And I learned the sleep spell, which I'm probably not going to get to keep because I did a little off-screen grinding. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I did a little off-screen grinding, and as I talked about before, I don't know, I just never found the sleep spell to be all that useful. For the most part, it's better to just kill your enemies outright, as it is in most games. Now, there are a few status effects that are useful, although they tend to be the ones that just outright kill your enemies. Anything that causes faint or stone is a pretty good status inflicting effect. A whole lot of enemies in this game are weak to just instant death-like effects, whether it's Delta Petra or anything that just causes faint. So we got a stone shield there. I don't want to fight you. Fight either of you, but I guess I'm gonna end up fighting you. Let's keep fighting with Will. Swing, swing, swing. Swing for the fences, Will. Awesome. Now I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to load up my last save file, and I'll be right back and show you what I learned. Just to show you. Alright, we're back once again. And just to give you a quick demonstration of what I learned. I didn't mean to hit that button. I don't think I learned any new spells, but I'm just showing you what I have. The two main things I learned were Snake Blaster. Didn't learn any new. And Thunderblade. But I think I also learned a couple of extra sword arts. I want to say I learned Cross Break, Mist Double. But anyway, like I said, the main two things I learned were Thunderblade and Snake Blaster. Oh, by the way, when it says best versus frogs, I'm not 100% sure about this because it would be, honestly, the most esoteric thing ever, and it would be pretty par for the course for SaGa Frontier games, is if they meant specifically frogs. But I think what they mean when they say best versus frogs is any enemy that can show up as the frog sprite on the screen. So in this one, it would be those dragon heads and the frogs up top, things like that. I think that's what they mean when they say best versus frog. Don't quote me on that, because I am probably wrong. So I didn't get to keep the sleep spell, but you know what? I'll take the 2 hybrid arts over the sleep spell any day. Now, just to show you where I am, you can also get up here this way. You don't have to go through over there, I think. I don't know, that might be a one-way trip down. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, just a quick demonstration of what I have going on here. And also, you want to unequip everything off Nina. So I guess up to this point, you could have used Narcisse if you wanted to. But, you know, like I said, I just like using Nina. Never forgive you. Now, the thing that he's talking about, this quell can only be used by normal humans to repel monsters, but in my possession it can be used to control them. The quell he's talking about, I think, is the one that he got from the little boy before, which is why he wanted it. And then basically he's using it in conjunction with the egg to control monsters. So I'm thinking that's what's going on there, because, you know, he said this quell, he didn't say the egg. But not that it really matters. Alright, let's see, we're going to go with Painful Beat. Hyper Hammer. Water Hammer. And Heavenly Strike. Ow. Yeah, this is like fighting 2 griffins at the same time. You're not meant to win this fight. Ow. Usually they wipe me out in like a single turn. This is kind of new. So I'll just use Water Hammer and screw it, Corkscrew. They have a move that's like Gale something that the Griffins can also use, but it'll pretty much wipe out your party in one turn. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ow. But if you have Nina in your party, if you don't have Nina in your party, you get a game over. It is so important you have her in your party. But if you do have her in your party, she uses that, which instantly kills the dragons and revives the remaining 3 party members in your party. And she dies. Or falls unconscious. She isn't dead yet. we still have a boss to kill. That's right. Now we fight Alexei himself. And I have absolutely no clue what that thing is he's riding. Alright, so for this fight, you want to pretty much ignore the Knight Servant and just go for Alexei himself. So, Sky Drive. And let's go with Heavenly Strike. Now, the two Knight Servants can't really do anything to you. They're pretty weak. They can poison you, and that's probably the most deadly thing they can do. And as for Alexei himself, the most damaging move he can do is probably this needle shot attack, which is not very powerful. However, he does have one move that you really got to watch out for. It's called, oh shoot, brain fart. Can't remember what it's called. What it does, though, is it will instantly kill one of your characters. It's an instant death effect. If you have any dead stones, equipping them would be good. I didn't equip any dead stones because he honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. If he knocks somebody down, just take a turn to revive him with life water. And then, yeah, he'll also very rarely use Call Thunder. But he doesn't have a whole lot of HP. Just attack him with your best moves, and he just kind of does that. And the two Knight Servants will ascend to heaven. This game has such wonderful music. But, yeah, Will lost another loved one. What? Looks like our skirmishes with the egg are not quite over yet. So anyway, we want to go ahead and save now. And I'm save over this one. This is actually the second time I've recorded all of this. The first time I accidentally screwed with my recording setup. And, well, videos didn't come out right. So, I'm having to re-record this. But that's not here nor there. So, right after you do Showdown Alexei, if you go over here, not there, here, you can actually go back to Volvalang and Gruagul. And you can visit these spots at every time, well, basically every time you have a major change in party. And not just Will's group, but Gustav can actually come here as well. And you can do training and things like that. And at Volvalang, you can't do any training in Gruagul. Gruagul is strictly a visit to the town. Volvalang is, you start in the town, and then you can go to the cavern. The canyon. And you can train in the canyon, and you can go back to Volvalang and stay at the inn and all that. And basically, that's how you grind. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done, like... I'm not too worried about grinding. I do want to do a little bit of grinding in Volvalang before we continue on. I will... And I think I'm going to do that later. Basically, I want to do it now, though, before we continue on with the story. Next time, though, we will do Mother's Sickbed and the Conquest of Wide. Like I said, we want to do it now, because if I were to go to if I were to do it after Mother's Sickbed, my party would consist of Gustav and Kelvin, excuse me. And then I could go use them to go to Volvalang and Grogol. If I do it after Conquest of Wide, then it's Gustav by himself. So, pretty much every time you have a major change of party, you can go to these spots. And these are not the only 2 side quest areas that you can go to. These are just the first 2 that open. Pretty much as the story goes on, we'll have access to more areas. So, I'll see you guys next time on SaGa Frontier 2. Bye.